CDL Book Club, Jeff Mills right here at the CDL Book Club grounds. Today we're going to do the Class B truck. This is a box truck, and let's show the truck real quick. So it's a box truck vehicle. Show you that, you know, all these vehicles have the same parts in the whole 9 yards. So we're going to start my keys in my pocket, my wheels chalk, and we're going to start inside the truck. So this is a master edition right here, and these books for the greatest pre-trip inspection, Class A, Class B, is on Amazon.com, along with the skills book and the exam book to help you get CDL minded. So let's enter the vehicle. So I'm entering 3 points of contact. I got one hand on the handrail, 1 foot on the step, 1 foot on the ground, and I'm going to enter the vehicle. And the first thing that I do is I'm going to put my seatbelt on, because that's the thing that you do. And you want to make sure, I'm glad this rung, because you want to make sure that you do not have your phone with you when you're taking your test, or just put it on airplane mode. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it on airplane mode because I'm gonna use it for my time. All right, so you put it on airplane mode so it doesn't ring, and then I'll use this as my time since I don't have a watch with me. So my seat and my seat belt properly locks. The belt is not frayed. My mirrors are adjusted for me. My steering wheel has no more than 2 inches of play. Now I'm gonna put the key inside, and I'm gonna use the safe start. And I'm going to wait till my ABS light goes out, and I will start the vehicle up. That's considered a safe start. Now, while the light is on, I go ahead and mention my map light or dome light is properly working, and my city horn properly works. Now my gauges. Left turn signal indicator, right turn signal indicator, and the 4-way flashers, they all properly work. The high beam indicator properly works. And now I'm going to push in and make the windshield wipers spray and show that they're flush to the windshield and no obstructions. Now, my oil pressure gauge reads 5 to 20 PSI, and it properly works. The temperature gauge rises when it gets warm, and if it reaches 260, I'm gonna place my vehicle out of service because the vehicle is overheating. My tachometer properly works. The speedometer properly works. Now, my fuel gauge, I have enough fuel to perform my test. The voltmeter should read 12 to 14. My air pressure gauges have reached the governor cutout rate at 120 PSI. So that means I have enough air in my tanks to perform my air pressure test. Now, I'm going to turn my vents on, and make sure you have it on to heat. Put it on defrost and the feet. So fill at the top, fill down the bottom, properly works. Now turn the vents on, put your hands up. They properly work. Now turn them off. Now I'm ready to perform my air brake test. So the first test that I'm going to perform is my tug test, which is the parking brake test. And I'm going to put the vehicle in drive. I'm going to tap the accelerator, and this parking brake should hold the vehicle in place. Starting now. So I tap the accelerator. The parking brake held. It properly worked. Put the vehicle back in neutral. Now explain the service brake test. For the service brake test, you don't have to perform it. You just have to say what you're going to do, or how you would perform it. So the service brake test, I would drive 5 miles an hour forward, apply the brake, and it should not pull to the left or pull to the right. No unusual feeling. All right. Now I'm going to put 3 fingers up. And these 3 fingers represent that I'm 1, turn the truck off. 2, turn the key on so my dash lights up. 3, push in the parking brake. Starting now. 1, turn the truck off. 2, turn the key on so my dash lights up. 3, push in the parking brake and let the air settle. While the air is settling, I'm getting my time straight. I'm at 3:56 right now. I'm going to wait till about 3:57 to begin, because I'm going to hold my service brake down for 1 minute, and within that minute, I should not lose no more than 3 PSI within that minute. While I'm waiting on my time, I'm just going to go ahead and explain my service, my 3 emergency equipment. That's your fully charged fire extinguisher, ABC fire extinguisher, 3 reflective triangles, and spare fuses. All right. Now, we're almost at 3:57. A couple more seconds, and then I'm going to, here we at 3:57. I'll start it now. I'm holding my service brake down for 1 minute. I'm at 3:57. And what I'm looking at on my gauges also is that I should not lose no more than 3 PSI. So I'm looking at the gauges, making sure that I don't lose no more than 3 PSI. And my time, I'm making sure that I do not go over 1 minute, okay? You don't want to move, you don't want to take your foot off the brake too soon, and don't want to take it off too late. And again, while I got a few more minutes left, few more seconds left. You can order these books for the greatest pre-trip in the Class A and Class B. Now, my foot is off. It's at 3:58. Now, I put my time down. I did not lose no more than 3 PSI. Now I'm going to fan my brakes down to 60 PSI. And I'm looking at my gauges right here. Come on in and show my gauges. So now I'm going to fan these gauges down to 60 PSI. And when I get to 60 PSI, the low air pressure buzzer and indicator should come on. And then I will continue to fan down to 40 to 20 PSI, and the parking brake that I pushed in should pop out. And I'm say starting now. Now, they properly work. Keep fanning until the brake. Now look at the brake. All right, you just heard it pop out, so it properly worked. Now I'm going to turn the truck off. Turn the truck off. Take my key out, and now I'm going to exit the vehicle using 3 points of contact. And we're going to work on finishing the test outside in the front of the vehicle. So now, from this position, I'm going to start with the ID clearance lights and my turn signal lights. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure. Amber in the front, red to the rear. No condensation. The windshield is not cracked, not broken, and secure. No obstructions, and no outdated stickers. The seal, the rubber seal around the windshield is not cracked, not broken, and secure. Not driver out free. The windshield wipers are flush to the windshield. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure. The blades are not dry rotted free. My headlights are not cracked, not broken, and secure. And they're clean and clear. No condensation. The suspension is balanced. If it wasn't balanced, I'd place my vehicle out of service. No leaks or puddles or broken glass or hanging wires underneath the vehicle. If I had that, I would place my vehicle out of service. All tires are properly inflated to the manufacturer specification. Now, to the passenger side, I have the radiator and the radiator hose. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure. No leaks. The hose is not dry rotted or frayed. It's properly clamped. I will inspect all my other hoses the same way as I inspected my initial hose. The bottom radiator hose go to the water pump, and it's underneath the alternator here. And It's not cracked, not broken, and secure. No leaks. It's also belt driven. The alternator, which is on top right here, it's not cracked, not broken, and secure, and no loose or missing parts, and it's also belt driven. Now the belt, and you might have a better view right there. The belt is not cracked, not broken, and secure, and it has no more than 3/4 of play. It's not dry rotted or frayed. Now, the exhaust connects to the manifold and runs underneath the vehicle, and it's not cracked, not broken, and secure, has no leaks, and if it had any leaks, it'll show black soot. Now, my fuel tank is not cracked, not broken, and secure, no leaks, has a metal cap with a rubber seal and a metal chain. Don't have to take this off, and it's hand tight. The fuel tank is held up by metal and rubber straps. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts, and not dry rotted or free. My steps, not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts, and free of debris. Now we're off to the driver's side. Now, I have my engine oil dipstick, the air compressor, and the steering pump is in the back here. My coolant reservoir, my gearbox, and my power steering fluid reservoir. All of these parts are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No leaks. They read between the add and the full mark. And how I would check my dipstick, I will pull it out, wipe it off, insert it back in, pull it back out, and it should read between the add and the full mark. The air compressor and the steering pump are both gear driven. Now, system number 1, the steering system. I have the steering shaft and the steering linkage. These parts are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. The steering shaft should have no more than 2 inches of play, no debris wrapped around it, and the steering linkage is connected by castle nuts and cotter pins. System number 2, the braking system. I'm gonna start with the ABS line and the brake hose. These parts are not cracked, not broken, and secure, not dry rotted or free, no leaks. And the brake hose go to the brake chamber. It's not cracked, not broken, and secure, no dents, no leaks. And if you think you forgot something, just do it so that you know you did it. So I was thinking that I did not say not cracked, not broken, and secure, which is CBS. So I said not cracked, not broken, and secure, no dents, no leaks. Now, the push rod goes into the brake chamber and the slack adjuster. The push rod and slack adjuster are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts, and it's in a 90-degree angle. When you pull on the push rod and slack adjuster by hand, you should not be able to pull on it no more than 1 inch with the brakes released. Now, inside the wheel, you'll see right here is the brake drum. Let's see, here we go. All right, right there. This is the brake drum. It's not cracked, not broken, and secure, and no dents. Inside the brake drum are the brake shoe lining. These brake shoe linings are not cracked, not broken, and secure, and not worn dangerously thin. All right. Now, system number 3 is the suspension. You have the leaf springs, the U-bolts sitting on the axle, held up by the hangers, and the hangers have hanger mounts connected to the frame and the shock absorber. And all of these parts are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. The leaf springs are not shifted or missing, and no leaks from the shock absorber. Now, that's system number 1, 2, and 3. They're done. Now we're going to go to the drive axle, and I will inspect the drive axle braking system and suspension parts the same way as I inspected them in the front, by naming the braking system parts first. The ABS line, the brake hose, the brake chamber, the brake drum, and the brake shoe line. Suspension parts, the leaf springs, the U-bolts, the axle, the hangers, the hanger mounts, the frame, and the shock absorber. I would inspect all these parts the same way as I did in the front. Now, the steering tire. The steering tire is not cracked, not broken, and secure, not dry rot free, properly inflated to the manufacturer specification, no cuts or bulges on the side walls, tread is evenly worn, the tread should be no less than 432 in tread depth, and the front steering tire cannot be recapped. All other tires can be recapped. How I will check the tread depth is with a depth gauge, and how I will check the air pressure is with a rubber mallet or air pressure gauge. Now, I will inspect my drive axle tires the same way as I inspected my steering tire. With these tires can be recapped, they should not be mismatched or rubbing, and they should be no less than 232 in tread depth. The front steering rim is not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. I will inspect the drive axle the drive axle rim the same way as I inspected the steering rim, with the exception that that is a bud rim and there should be no debris in the middle. All lug nuts on my steering axle and drive axle are not cracked, not broken, and secure. None are loose or missing. If they were loose or missing, they would show rust or shininess. All valve stems on the steering axle and drive axle, they're not cracked, not broken, and secure. And no leaks, they should have a metal cap. My oil hub is not cracked, not broken, and secure. And no loose or missing parts, no leaks. I will inspect the drive axle the same way as I inspected this oil hub in the front, with the definition of no leaks. Now, I made some time, so now I'm gonna close up my hood. And I go to the down, strap down the passenger side. Strap it down. Now I'll go to the driver's side, and I'll show how I strap it down. So, just lift it up, put it inside, strap it down, she's good to go. Now, my door opens and closes properly. The door hinges are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. The rubber seal around the door is not cracked, not broken, and secure. Not dry rot free. My handrails are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. And the DEF, the depth, if you have this on your truck, any truck, whatever it is, you don't have to mention. It's not on the test. All right? My air tanks are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No leaks. Drain daily, free of condensation. This is where you drain it at right here. All right? If you're in DC, you have the battery box. Some locations want the batteries and the battery box. So the batteries are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No leaks, no corrosion around the posts, and the cables are not dry rot free. Maryland, you don't have to mention the batteries. You have the DOT tape and reflectors. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure. Clean and clear. Underneath the vehicle is the drive shaft. The drive shaft is not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts, and free of debris. And you don't have to come underneath the vehicle, okay? Safety first. Now, the mud flap is not cracked, not broken, and secure, and not dry rot free, not dragging. To the rear of the truck. Now, I already mentioned my ID clearance lights. I said they were red in the rear, and the turn signal lights. So my brake lights are red in the rear, and they're not cracked, not broken, and secure, and no condensation. The reverse lights are white in color. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure, no condensation. The tag is securely mounted to the vehicle with no outdated stickers. If you happen to have a lift gate and your door, you can mention those. That's for another point. So the lift gate and the rear door here, or tailgate door, is not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. And underneath is the DOT bumper, and that's not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. This concludes the pre-trip for the Class B vehicle, and write down this video. It will help you out. Write down any of our videos. It will help you out to get CDL minded. And we have these videos in book form also on Amazon.com. You go to Amazon.com, type in Jeff Mills, M-I-L-L-S, or type in the books, The Greatest Pre-Trip Inspection, The Greatest Pre-Trip Inspection Class B, and the CDL Book Club presents the Skills book along with the exam book. And those books will help you get CDL minded and get you in the game. And soon to come will be the CDL Book Club presents the Financial Book of Freedom. And if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to give me a call personally at 240-581-2452 or visit us on the web at thecdlbookclub.com. That's THECDLbookclub.com. Thanks for watching the video. CDL Book Club is where you get CDL minded. See you soon.